Hello there.
Hello there.
This is Steve.
And I'm Jason from Lifehouse. May the rock be with you. Yeah, how you doing, man?
Excellent, man. Thank you. And welcome back to May the Rock Be With You. It's been about 10 years since we chatted, Jason. So it's good to see you again.
10 years. Steve was just like, is that a Star Wars
I hope
reference?
so.
He's a super fan of Star
Oh
Wars, so
yeah,
he was hoping
big
so.
time.
Of course, it is. That's what it's basically from, but we just adapted it to May the Rock Be With You, and it's even better.
It's
Well,
good. So it's been 10 years since I've done this?
yeah, 10 years. So let's catch up. How's the last 10 years been for you?
Oh boy. Lots of stuff. Sold my house in LA, moved to Nashville. Steve moved to Nashville too. Tried to have kids for 15 years, didn't happen, and then surprise, we got pregnant. So I have a 2-year-old now, and Steve's got a 3-year-old boy.
Yeah,
So yeah, we're like the family guys now. We're just
yeah,
slowly starting to get out there playing. Like these acoustic shows have been really, really fun, but we're just trying to like do them in like short, condensed spaces because having a kid is a completely different experience. Because I toured hardcore for 17 years with
Mm.
just me and my wife doing our thing, but it's different. It's different when you got a little baby at home.
All right. Well, you are leaving the baby at home to come to Australia next month. So you're coming down with Train and KT Tunstall as a solo artist.
Yeah,
Now, can you explain how this is going to work on this tour? What's the set look like in
sure.
2025 for Jason Wade?
It's a lot of Lifehouse stuff, and honestly, I'm trying to keep it that way. I'm gonna play maybe. Oh, is that the set list, Steve?
that's what we just did in the Midwest.
Oh,
Uh,
Take it away.
to be honest with you, it's mostly Lifehouse stuff, and
Yeah,
since we're only playing for 50 minutes, and I know we have a lot of fans over there, we're trying to take all of the best of Lifehouse stuff and condense it into a 50-minute set, and I'm gonna play with like one solo stuff,
okay.
and that's
That's
it.
cool.
yeah.
Now, is it a duo? Is it a band? How's this work? What's happening?
It's the two of us. Yeah,
Yeah,
so we
awesome.
both play acoustics, and I sing like the harmonies and stuff. But it's not like it's funny. We've been doing these kind of shows in the States, and we always show up and like I go out front because it's like we've just been like using like the house sound guys for these, and
Yeah, we have no text. It's just gonna be
yeah.
the two of us like lugging our stuff and
Yeah, but we keep the guitars pretty punchy still. It's not like
yeah.
we're gonna sit on the stool and play our song. It's like
No,
we're
it's the most
standing up and
aggressive version you've ever heard of Hanging by a Moment.
yeah,
Actually,
acoustic.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
definitely like there's some
yeah,
soft moments, but we're trying to keep it up tempo enough.
yeah,
But for me personally, I wanted the songs to feel like they were written in the room. Like that's been my whole thing. And we don't have in-ears, so we just have wedges. We can hear like the crowd noise and like everything that everybody's saying. So that's I haven't done that since I was like 19, 20 years old, you
yeah,
know. So that's
Wow.
been kind of scary at first, but like we're used to it now, and I
yeah,
love it so much more because you can actually communicate with the fans versus just being in that like in-ear bubble, you know, where it feels
yeah,
like the band's up here, the crowd's out there.
yeah.
All these shows, we're going to be talking to people the whole time and just, you know, shooting
Awesome. Can't wait.
breeze.
It's funny because I
Yeah.
was going to ask something similar about that because we get to see you up on stage. From your perspective, what's
Mhm.
the favorite thing that you get to see from the stage looking at us?
Right now, it's being able to hear because
Mm,
usually the crowd has to be so loud to get
Yeah,
through to those in-ears to where you're like, oh, it was a good night. They sang, but it must be blistering loud to for it to get to that
yeah,
point.
yeah,
Now that the inners are out, if I just hear like a whisper of somebody singing "Hanging by a Moment" or "You and Me" or like one of the Lifehouse songs, it feel like I can feel it instantly and I get the chills. I'm like, oh wow, like I'm connected to the room and stuff. So it's a completely different experience doing this acoustic thing on a big stage where and I'm just trying to keep my eyes open the whole time too and like really see what's happening. And it's been interesting too because these shows, a lot of older people or older people, I'm old now, but like they're bringing their kids, you know, and
yeah,
their kids have been raised on Lifehouse music, and so they know like these 14, 15-year-olds know, and it really like takes me aback because I'm like, how do you know our song? Like you
yeah.
should be at like a Billie Eilish concert or
Or
something
like
like
they
that.
know like the new songs. We're like, "What's your
Yeah,
favorite song?" And they're like, "Goodbye, Canaan." We're like,
yeah,
Who paid you to say that?"
it's
It's like,
strange, but like that interaction never used to happen on stage. I used to be very just like quiet and like
yeah,
eyes closed, just like trying to do my
defense mode.
yeah,
Yeah,
do my thing. But like now I'm like,
yeah,
wow, this music does have this like connection to people, and I have that connection to the music. So it really is like a special thing. So I'm excited to experience that in Australia.
nice. You've become a generational band, man. That's fun.
I
we
never,
did it.
yeah, I never thought that was gonna happen, but it's pretty cool. It's pretty
That's
cool.
awesome.
It's all thanks to the grocery stores, man.
Yeah.
It's all.
Oh, that's next. Now it's been a little while since you've been to Australia. Do you have a great memory of a past tour down here?
Oh man, so many.
Yeah,
The first one would probably be, I think it was opening for like Simple Plan. They were on the bill. The the Goos were, I think we were like main support for the Goos.
Mhm.
And they were one of my childhood favorite bands. Like Iris is one of my favorite songs of all time. So like just to watch Johnny like side stage was so trippy. And then we were back there 10 years ago to open
Yeah.
for Live. We did a
Yep.
couple shows with them, and then we did our own headlining shows, and that's where me and Steve like really started to connect.
Yeah.
When we had a day off in Perth, we were just talking about that where he was kind of newer to the band, but like we really started to connect and started talking about studio stuff, and he was like an aspiring producer. And my producer best friend was kind of like moving on to do other things. I was like, maybe we should get back and actually like do some stuff together. And that like connection grew, and we became really good friends and started like a side project. And he produces all my solo stuff, and like we have a studio together in Nashville. So,
Nice.
and he's a great guitar player and singer too. So it's like we're just doing all this together, just like full DIY, you know.
Love this. It's great. Now, while Lifehouse is on a bit of a hiatus, you're still out there making music as a solo artist with Oswald as well. What can you do as a solo artist and with the band that you feel you couldn't have done with Lifehouse?
I just probably that's a good question. I'd have to say just the scheduling of everything. Just to give you, I mean, you probably already know this, but like when you're on a label, which we were for probably like 15 years, you make your record, they okay the single, and then if that single does well, they do another single. So you could potentially be on the road and you just promote for 3 years solid, you know? So you're away from your family, 8 months out of every year, you go home for the holidays. If it's going good, that 3 year period can stretch to 4. And then you're playing the same 12 songs for potentially 3 to 4 years. And I love writing songs. I'm a studio rat. I love being in the studio and creating new things. Just wasn't enough for me. You know, it wasn't, to do 7 albums in like 21 years with Lifehouse. It was amazing. I have no complaints, but it just, I wanted the time to be able to explore other things, you know, and not just have to be a slave to like, oh, this is the next 7 months are accounted for and I can't do anything about it. Like I'm going to be like, I know exactly what I'm going to be doing. It kind of like stunts your creativity after a while, you know? So I needed to kind of unplug the whole machine and kind of step back and go like, why did I really get into this? And for me personally, it was songwriting and like making records and making different types of, I never wanted to be just like one trick pony of like a specific sound or a specific song. So I kind of had to step away and like kind of do the etch a sketch thing and go like this was amazing, but I need time to explore other things. Me and Steve were writing a ton of Oswald stuff and I was really enjoying it. But it's just a time thing, you know. It's like you only have a certain amount of time for your business and your craft, but like then your family is the most important thing. So you have to like it's a juggling act, you know. So
Wow.
we don't have it perfect, but we're kind of figuring it out. But like just to unplug the machine and go like, oh wow, 8 months just opened up. We don't have to like wake up at 6 in the morning and go to local TV and like local radio and then play the show. And you just start to like lose your marbles a little bit after a while where you're like, where am I right now? And you start to lose that center and that like, and then you're just so tired you don't have enough energy to like pick up a guitar and want to write a song. And like that really kind of bummed me out after a while. I was like, I just need space to like get back into like loving writing songs.
Yeah, right. Because we had a likely story out last year. So what can we expect in the way of new music from you soon?
Me and Steve were just talking about that. We're gonna work on some new Oswald stuff.
Oh, cool.
We have one song for my next solo thing started.
Yeah.
That actually sounds like Lifehouse, which is funny.
Yeah, it's definitely much more like
yeah, it's almost
punchy.
and like earlier Lifehouse, like Stanley Kleinfall. So I think that
Cool.
I might do like a solo record that's less folk and like a little bit more rock, you know. But honestly, it could turn into something completely different later on. But like right now, I think that we're just like, let's play these shows and get home. But like we definitely have some stuff going on.
Okay, excellent. Because what I loved about the last record, I'm sitting here listening to it, and I'm like, this is kind of real crowded housey. Like it's sort of like that vibe.
Yes.
I love Crowded House.
Love
Yeah,
Crowded.
man.
That used to be my soundcheck song. And they're
Wow.
like, you sing. And I'm like, I don't want to sing right now.
That's cool. And
Yeah.
that's so funny. Our influences are all over the place. It's not just like just rock music or folk music. I think that that's cool that you said that because it's
Crowded
like,
House
yeah, I
rules.
love Crowded House for sure.
So I was very
That's the
impressed.
best part.
Now, what is the status of Lifehouse? Can I ask?
Yeah, sure. So we're just still on hiatus, but I don't really have any plans to do like a reunion tour or anything like that right now. Like obviously Steve lives down the road and we have our side project, and he's doing all the solo shows with me and the records and stuff. But so Rick lives in Arizona, the drummer. He plays with Michelle Branch from time to time, and I think that he's like getting into some production of his own. Bryce is in Vegas, and he's got a band out there too. But I think everyone's happy and just like living their lives. And we had such an amazing run, and all good vibes for everybody.
It'll happen when it happens, right?
Yeah, exactly. You can't force things like this. Like, that's the one thing I've learned. It's like when life starts to really go like, no, you're going over here, and you try to like, no, you're going over, it just doesn't work, So I'm like just trying to go with the flow of everything right now, especially having a little kid, I think my main thing is like, I just want to, like, I'm so excited to go to Australia, but after that, I think that I'm like, okay, we need to like, make
like,
sure
this
that
was a lot of
make sure that like 8 days is a little too long to be away from the little kiddos, because it's like
trying to like take notes on like
they're
10 days off. We didn't need those. Like 1 day off.
They're changing every single day, and I just don't want to miss that much, because it's such a special time of life.
If I am a toy koala or something and take them, they'll be happy.
Oh, I will.
You're like, oh, we do. Those suitcases are full when they come home.
Yeah.
Now we talked about being generational band before, so let's look back a little bit, because No Name Face turns 25 this year. That's a quarter of a century, man. Let's look back. What's your fondest memory of when you released it? And essentially, your life changed.
Oh man, favorite memory, probably hearing the song on the radio for the first time, getting to tour with Matchbox 20. For me, at that time in my life, I just remember being just in a basement, like this little TV watching VH1, and I think Push was on like all the time, like every like 2 seconds, and I was like, I really like this song. So I think they were definitely like an early influence on like the No Name Face thing. So like the fact that like Rob Thomas is like coming up to me after sound check and saying that he like knows songs off the record and stuff, and just being like super nice to us. And we're playing Madison Square Garden as like 20-year-olds, it was like fresh out of high school. It was just the most surreal experience, and I wish that I could go back and just like tell my younger self to just enjoy it, because it's such a weird thing to happen to a young person. And I was terrified. I was just like, I would get the worst stage fright and just could not like calm down to actually enjoy what was happening. Because at the end of the tour, we were selling like 90,000 CDs a week. People were just like singing the song back to us in these like huge, and we only played 5 songs, but like when we would get to Hanging by a Moment, it was like, oh boy, this is like a thing, and I'll never forget. I think we were in New York somewhere, like a big city, and like every time you would turn because it was like one of those things where it was like big on rock, big on pop, big on like 3 different stations at the same time. And I went in the room and I kept like clicking on the station. It was on 3 different stations at the same time. And then I clicked the TV and it was on like MTV at the same time. So I was like, how do you process that as like a 20-year-old that grew up in a
Truman Show? You're like, this isn't happening.
It felt like it was fake, So it's like I just went into autopilot. I was like, just like absorb all this that's happening. But in hindsight now, it was pretty cool. It was like definitely like one of those 1 in a billion type of things,
Yeah, because I remember hearing Hanging by a Moment the first time, where I was, what I was thinking. And I just thought, this is going to be a song that's stuck in my head for years, and 25 years on, it still is. It pops in every now and then. I don't know why, it just does. But when you write a song like that,
sorry about that.
Were you aware of what you had when you wrote that song?
No. Yes and no. I remember exactly how it happened, so I could tell you the story if that, because it's very vivid. I was doing a vocal to a song called Somebody Else's Song in the other room with Ron, the producer of the first record, Ron Aniello. And we took a break for some reason. I went into the other room and I picked up his Larrivee guitar, and I don't know if it was drop D already or if I like was like getting interested in different tunings or something. But literally the song, I started like play it, and it was just like this weird hypnosis thing. I wrote the whole thing. I like started writing, scribbling the lyrics. And I was like, Ron, I think I have a really good song. Because I knew we needed up-tempo music for because it was a very mellow record, No Name Face at the time. We needed like I didn't know what a single was at the time. I just knew we needed something fast. And
something peppy.
Yeah, exactly. Something snappy.
Yeah.
And the whole song just like came together in like 7 minutes, 10 minutes. And like, that's only happened a couple times. And the record was almost done. We booked another studio, wrapped it up. The label freaked out. So I was like, so that's how I knew I had something special. I didn't know what a hit was, but everyone was freaking out about it. And like, this is the first single, you're going to make a music video. So I was like, okay, something is happening. But
amazing.
In a way, I'm glad I didn't know, because it's like, I've spent my whole life trying to do it again, and you can't ever do it again. Like you can get little like close to things, but when something like that happens where you're just like completely present and it's just like you're just a conduit to whatever is happening, you can't like you can't force it. You can't like make it happen.
No, that's fair enough. Now, this is for both of you because as songwriters and fans of music, obviously, what would be one song that you wish you could hear again for the first time?
Ooh.
Oh man.
Of anybody?
Yep.
Okay.
I think I like weirdly almost thought about just like maybe like good vibrations or something.
Yeah. I was thinking about yesterday. I
Yeah.
remember getting obsessed with that song and was like, it's so short. Like it's like,
Yeah.
but it, like that song has always stuck with me. And
Mhm.
honestly, like the Coldplay song, Fix You. I remember like
Yeah.
sitting in like my driveway listening to that whole record, and that one came on, and I was just like, I just started crying. I was like, oh, this is crazy. It's like certain songs like that like hit you and you never forget it. And then like you never know when they're gonna strike again, where it's like it'll pop up and like there's probably like whatever you're going through at the time or
Yeah,
whatever.
I
But
think for sure.
I think Yesterday for me is like one that I would love to go back and hear it for the first time.
Yeah, nice. And I do love good vibrations. Like nothing sounded like that at all. Like when
No,
you,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's a good one.
Yeah, just productions are insane and like yeah, I don't know. I just think that yeah. Now I think we can almost take those songs for granted as like this thing that just exists when it's like that did not exist.
And that song was in Vanilla Sky too,
Oh yeah,
which is
yeah.
like when a
We gotta
song
watch
hits
that
like a
again.
classic movie too in a
Yeah.
certain scene,
Yep.
they're always kind of like connected together in a
Yeah.
weird way, you
We've
know?
talked about rewatching Vanilla Sky like 100 times
Yeah.
and we haven't rewatched it yet.
But wait till Good Vibrations comes on. It's a
We're
great,
gonna do it.
it's a
It's
crazy
there you
thing.
go.
great.
Yeah.
Now, looking back over your career, it can be very easy to say what can change over time. But what's the one thing that's always remained the same about what you do?
Oh man, you ask good questions.
Thanks.
I think that just coming back to, we talk about this all the time. Songwriting is such a mystical, weird thing. I think that like you just got to do it every day, you know? It's like
Yeah.
the hanging story never happened again or like that. I think that just like if you love music, you're gonna want to get in and just paint and like try to come up
Yeah.
with like new ways to kind of like get your creative juices flowing a little bit. It could be like buying a new keyboard or coming up with a new vocal sound or something.
Yeah.
But I think the main thing is to just stay in love with the process of like going, and the real magic is you have no idea what's going to happen. But if you show up, maybe something will happen. And most days you're like fishing for stuff that's not there and you're kind of bummed about it. But
Yeah.
like, I still think that there's that, thing that happens where it can shock you and you're like, oh, wow, I'm inspired. Let's do this right now. And I
Yeah.
think that it just like keep showing up to the studio, like keep
Yeah.
showing up.
I feel like we try to put all of our energy into like chasing that and like it's funny, like I've been in the band for 10 years, but like we've done the studio stuff for like maybe 5 or 6 or something. And like I feel like we talk about like, even the early days where you were recording with Ron, like in his like pool house or guest house or something, and just like that just seemed like that was always such a great memory, which is probably why people like that record was so big. Because I think they
Yeah.
could tell. And then after that, it's like there's always almost this agenda because you're like, well, now I gotta like get the thing in the label and all this
Yeah.
stuff. And I feel
It kind of it ruins it a little bit, because No Name Face was like he said, it was all we would do drums and bass like in a professional studio, and then everything else was at Ron's house, like just in his garage, basically. And so, and then all of a sudden, all this money's coming in. So we rented a really nice studio for the second record, and I still love Stanley Kleinfeld. I think there's some good songs on there.
yeah,
But the whole like kind of magic of it changed a bit and became a little bit more label people checking in on you more, like making sure that you're like staying on point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like
yeah.
it's almost like you have like the guardians like to try to like make sure you do it again.
Yeah.
And that pressure can
They're like,
it-
no,
it is true. It's like you have your whole life to write your first record and like 3 months to write your second. It's true.
Yeah.
But then that record came out, and then when it doesn't perform or do well, everyone blames you and they're like,
Yeah.
oh, you should have done it again. And it's
Yeah.
like, how do you do this every single time? And I'm only 22 at the time, 23 for our second record. And then DreamWorks went bankrupt, they folded. And we essentially like the record came out and was done in like 5 months. Like we tried our best and it was just like, and then literally they put us on all these like one hit wonder countdowns and like much like all this stuff. And in my mind, I'm like, oh wow, that was like a dream. Like we like, and it's over,
Yeah.
And so I'm like, started to run out of money. I'm like, what am I gonna do? You know, it's like this is crazy.
Like it didn't go to college.
And then that's 2 years of just dead time of not being able to get anybody on the phone. So my buddy and I at the time, he taught him what was the inbox, like
the blue
the first
inbox
version of
for
like Pro
nerds that know.
Tools.
Yeah.
And I just wrote like 100 songs over 2 years, and I'm like, I guess I'm just gonna try to write as many songs as I can, and hopefully someone will call me. And eventually, I got a call from Jude, our manager, and he's like, Geffen and Interscope are gonna pick up your contracts along with Nelly Furtado, Papa Roach, Jimmy Eat World. They collected like the successful bands from DreamWorks. And he's like, you get one more chance at it. And luckily we had the song You and Me that brought us back to life. But like, from my mind, I thought it was done. As a 23-year-old, I was like, I'm a one-hit wonder. It's over. And after You and Me, we managed to stretch that out for like another 10 years, you know? So it's like, you never, and the funny thing is You and Me was a song that should have been on No Name Face. It didn't make it. So it was already there floating around the ether. It wasn't its time yet, you know?
Yeah, I'll never understand the second record because Take Me Away, Spin, outstanding songs, and I don't know what happened. Like,
thanks, man. I thought Spin was going to be a big one, but like that's the thing. Like it's like you write a song, you never know.
There's too many other people. It's like I think the funny thing is it's like everyone's doing their little jobs and stuff, and people at labels and whatever, and you're like, we're doing our job, you know, and like it's like maybe some of those other people just didn't do their job.
You know what? We're loving playing Spin live.
Yeah, I got a whole little.
We have like a little medley that we're playing for a couple songs from Stanley, because the more I go back and listen to that record, I feel like there was this shame around it, where it's like it was the failed record, but it's like there's some really cool songs in there, you know.
And that's like one of the records. I feel like almost most of the people come to like meet and greets and are like, "That's my favorite record."
Yeah,
and I feel like I slept on it a little bit. It was like it wasn't the first one I was gravitated towards, and now it's been fun to like. We've done all these like acoustic performance videos where we film them in our studio or reimaginations, and I'm like, you're just gonna get me to love that record. Like,
do you Take Me Away?
Yeah, we're gonna do it.
Yeah, because I wasn't gonna come if you weren't doing it, so it's good now. I'll
yeah, it was in the longer.
No, yeah, we're gonna do it for sure.
Yeah, it's in the good key for another medley. So
the funny thing about that song was I feel like that was the first song that we started to play, because when we got really tired of playing the same, we played the whole No Name Face record for like 3.5 years straight, and then I wrote that song, and then we inserted it in the set, and we like didn't have it completely nailed down, but like people started to respond to it a little bit. So that in my mind, that got me excited to write the rest of the songs.
That makes sense.
And then like later on, I was like, maybe it's not a good song. It wasn't a hit. I don't know. And then, but like, who cares?
So many people are. It's so funny too, because you like some of these little medleys. You know, you're like, our joke is like, you know, you're like, how long do we wait between the songs? Like, should you just go into it, or do you like? And then, but then some nights like, you just play the little riff and people listen, and some nights they're like, you know, and it's like, but you never know, and it's like, but it's hard to not like psych ourselves out of like sometimes I'm like, do the people know Take Me Away? And then, but I think they do. I think it's like people just, we talk about like, I'm like, if I go to a concert, I'm just like a zombie, you know, and it means I love it, but it's like everyone processes.
Do you feel like people in Australia know that one?
Yeah.
Was that it hit there? Like, so what are the most popular Lifehouse songs in Australia?
Hanging by a Moment, Everything is
okay.
amazing.
We're playing Everything too.
Yeah.
Okay.
You and Me, of course. We did like Spin, Take Me Away. The singles hit here. The singles did well.
Okay, good. Like Whatever It Takes, was that a big song?
Oh yeah, it was a good song. Yeah.
First time.
And Halfway Gone. Like,
okay, cool.
Oh yeah.
All right, we're on the right path then.
Yeah.
Because we're trying to put together the set list to like make sure
we haven't finalized it yet,
that we are playing the songs that people want to hear.
Yeah.
Sure.
If you have any votes, let us know.
Now, I wanted to ask about a moment, because we talked about you being young a while ago, back in 2002. Now, I won a radio competition to get flown over to England to go and see Bon Jovi at Shepherd's Bush Empire, right?
You were there?
I was there, right? You guys supported. You came out and I was like, this is amazing. You've never come here before. I hadn't seen you here before.
You opened up for Bon Jovi?
I've told you about this show before. It was like in a theater, right?
It was a little club show, yeah. Like,
You said you played a show.
No, I remember like playing our set and then watching them with my wife, just tripping out like how crazy it was that they were such in a small venue, but he was doing all the moves and like the whole thing. I remember like it was, you were there?
I was, yeah.
That's crazy. We probably didn't sound that good though, right? Like
you sounded great. We were stoked. Me and my mate, we were just like, we love these guys.
Oh, cool. That's awesome. Wow.
So you talk about moments, because that's one for you guys. But is there anything that you want to do as an artist you haven't yet had the chance to do?
I think probably, honestly, I mean, we talk about it all the time, is just somehow finding a way into like doing like more like film scory stuff. Like
Oh,
that's
Mm,
cool.
all he listens
yeah,
to. I have like
that's
this
true.
like giant like hipster playlist of all these songs, and I come in the like in like the Airbnb, and Jay's just blasting like some like fucking,
No, it's true, man. It's so it's Thomas Newman, James
yeah.
Horner, Hans Zimmer, like all those guys. Like I don't know why, but like since I was like 17, that music just like I can listen to it all day and it's
Mm.
never gone away for some reason. And the Field of Dreams
Mm.
soundtrack, I don't know why. It's probably because I love the movie and the music and the composer, but there's something about instrumental music as like a songwriter that I'm always like writing words and stuff. I like to listen to stuff that doesn't have any words that I don't have to focus on, that I can just like immerse myself in a melody and just like vibe it. And it just, I don't know, it does this like crazy thing where just like kind of like calms me down.
We talked about
Excellent.
doing a Oswald instrumental record called
I think
"There Are No Words."
Yeah, I think
That
we're gonna
might
do
be our
that.
next
Yeah,
project.
and it'll probably be a little more aggressive than the stuff that I listen to, like more like
Yeah, a little bandier probably. Yeah,
Tarantino and
see,
stuff.
you know, we don't have like an orchestra in here, but yeah,
But I love like atmospheric music and just
yeah.
like stuff that just chills you out.
Excellent. Now, lastly, let's look ahead to the future with a prediction. So I want you to finish this sentence for me. By the end of
Okay.
2025, Jason Wade will.
Not have to change diapers anymore.
Eat a lot more Jersey Mikes on the road. No.
I
No,
love the
for real.
predictions.
We're potty
Awesome.
training right now, man. It's like let's hope it goes. Because it like my statement might not be true. I might still be changing those diapers.
I've been working on it for like a year. It's
Great answer.
yeah, it's hard.
Nice fellas. On a personal note, I have to say you are my 800th interview that I've done today. So I count you down.
800th.
800.
Wow.
Today, and it's like
No wonder you're
7 in the morning,
so
right?
good at it. Like we don't do like we get nervous doing this stuff because we don't do it
Yeah,
a lot
this isn't
anymore.
our thing
Yeah,
much
but like
anymore.
we're super happy to talk to you, man.
Yeah.
Like so
Thank
far,
you very
this
much.
is
It's been a
awesome.
pleasure.
Yeah.
Can't wait for the show in Sydney. So hopefully we can catch up. It'd be great to shake your hand and say
Oh,
good
yeah.
day.
Yeah,
for
let's
sure.
do it. Let's grab a beer.
And one more thing. Are you still associated with Jude Cole?
Oh
Yes.
yeah, big time.
Yeah, yeah.
Huge
Oh
fan.
yeah.
So
Are you
when talk to
really?
him-
Oh
Yep.
yeah, dude.
Okay, so like when we just did these little acoustic shows, he's calling us from the car, just like checking in to see like how the shows are
He's
going.
always at Starbucks when he calls.
Yeah, and he's
Yeah.
working on like all of his new music right now
Yeah.
too. So
Mhm.
like you should follow him and like do the
I
little
do.
Yeah,
things.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're
All right.
such
All right.
fans.
Tell him I said g'day.
I will. I will.
Oh yeah, we will.
You
And
got it,
I'll
man.
catch up with you in Sydney, guys. We'll definitely have a beer.
All right, cool.
Sweet.
All right,
All right,
take
Thanks,
care,
later,
guys.
man.
See ya.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye. Thanks for checking out our interview with Jason and Steve from Lifehouse. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel here and check out everything else at maytherockbewithyou.com.